life in the vice, CPS tight, fighting through the nights, through the pain and the plight. Lost in the system, kids taken away, but he ain't giving up, fighting day by day. Courtroom's cold, but his heart fire bold. Every document, evidence, stories untold. Digging deep, unearthing all the mess. Knows he's getting closer, there's no time to rest. CPS won't break this man, fighting each day, got a bigger plan. Reclaiming his kids, dreams in his hand, battling for others strong like a brick wall stand. Every setback a setup for a comeback. Vinny stacking facts, ready for the attack. Discovering truths buried deep in the lies. Eyes on the prize, freedom in his eyes. Community's voice rising up, getting loud. Vinny leading the charge, making his folks proud. Taking down giants, carrying the fight. The light at the end now blindingly bright. For his kids, for his life, for the broken and lost. Vinny's resilient, no matter the cost. Breaking free from chains, reclaiming his dream. CPS trembling when Vinny hit the scene.
In a small Maine town, under the sky so clear, a man named Vinny fights, driven by the fear. The CPS is corrupt, breaking hearts in cold. He stands with the people, brave and bold. With the Constitution held high in his hand, he walks the streets a one-man band. No more kids for cash, no more silent cries. In Vinny's eyes, the truth never dies. We're fighting for justice, standing tall. Vinny's voice echoes, answering the call. Through our podcast, we light up the night, freeing our kids, bringing truth to light. Families torn apart in the dead of night. Vinny's on the front line, ready for the fight. He records the stories, each tear and word, amplifying voices, making sure they're heard. Families torn apart in the dead of night. Vinny's on the front line, ready for the fight. He records the stories, each tear and word,
In the heart of our great nation, where the strength of our communities is built upon the foundation of strong and loving families, an urgent crisis is unfolding. Child Protective Services, CPS, an institution designed to safeguard our most vulnerable, has in many cases betrayed its noble mission. Too often, families are torn apart not by neglect or abuse, but by systemic failures and corruption. We can no longer stand idly by as these injustices continue. We are here to give a voice to those who have been isolated, to shine a light on the corruption, and to rally our fellow citizens in this critical fight for justice. Every day, countless families are caught in a web of bureaucracy and abuse of power, their lives disrupted and their bonds shattered. Children, who should be nurtured and protected, are instead placed in situations that can be just as, if not more, harmful than the circumstances from which they were taken. Parents, often bewildered and powerless, face insurmountable odds as they fight to reunite with their children. This is not the America we believe in. We cannot allow these injustices to persist. Our mission is to educate, to inform, and to inspire action. We promise to bring you daily updates on CPS, exposing the truth and fighting for reform. We must remember that the future of our nation depends on the strength and unity of our families. By standing together, we can hold CPS accountable and ensure that it fulfills its true purpose, protecting children and preserving families. This is a fight we must not and will not lose. We are committed to saving our families and securing a brighter future for all. The road ahead is challenging, but with your support, we can make a difference. Together, we will bring hope to those who have lost it and ensure that justice prevails. Let us unite with unwavering resolve and a sense of patriotic duty to safeguard the integrity of our families and the future of our nation.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPUFist.com is leading the way. Join us.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. You're with Vinny, the Freedom Fighter. This is my show. I run this every Thursday and Saturday, 2 o'clock on Thursdays, 7 p.m. on Saturdays. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys. I'm live twice a week. I'm going to jump right into it because I found some information that I want to get out to you guys, for you guys to understand what's going on, and what was supposed to be implemented in 2023 that has not been followed. And this is in accordance with federal law. On September 28th, 2023, the U.S. Administration for Children and Families, ACF, issued a final rule that explicitly gives all Title 4E child welfare agencies the opinion to use King-specific foster care licensings or approval standards and encourage them to limit those standards to federal safety requirements. This change will allow more children to be cared for by those they know and love and be financially supported like children with non king foster parents. The rule is specific. Move forward for thousands of children who are placed with king and foster care and yet do not receive monthly financial assistance to meet their needs. These children who are deproportional Black, Indigenous, or undiscovered rural areas do not receive this support simply because their king or not licensed or approved according to the set standard developed to non-king foster parents. By allowing tailored license or approval standards for relatives and king, the rule promotes quality for all children in family foster homes and will prevent children from going into groups of international placements when they can be placed with loving and supportive kin. Instead, children who are placed in group homes often have kin nearby who want to provide them with a home, but cannot do it without monthly foster care maintenance payments. These new rules open the door for supporting children with kin by encouraging agencies to implement kin specific standards that do away with strictly requiring that lack a clear nexus to safety. So, in other words, guys, they yes, that is my biological mom. Um, this this is them frauding the system, and we got proof because this was brought in 2003. And they have not been offering the kingship placements. They have not abided by federal law. And right there proves that they're not abiding by federal law because they're supposed to look into the families first for placement before foster care. Wow. We just uncovered something huge. And it goes on to read federal law has long required that Title 4E agencies create and maintain their own foster care licensing or approval standards, and this new rule does nothing to change that state's territorial or tribal flexibility. 42 USC 671 A10A standards that bar many king from becoming licensed or approved, such as not having enough room in their homes or misdemeanor criminal charges for writing bad checks, are not federal requirements. Title 4E agencies have the power to implement standards that omit these non-sensual and socially biased standards. ACF is encouraged that they do so, despite misrepresentation. Persistent federal requirements under the new rule remain the same: safety related, reasonable, and flexibility. Um, and it goes on and on, guys. But there's a lot in this thing that I just found. Our buddy Obsidian found this, and I went and researched it and was reading it. Um, and it's got some powerful stuff in there, and the language in it is really kind of screwed. Um, this is becoming a problem for us. That they have stuff like this that has a lot of narrative in it, and you can pull out the narrative and see that they're not following what their protocols really are. Kingship placement is supposed to be at the utmost importance before foster placement is even thought of. They're not doing this in any of the states. I have not heard many people having kingship placements, not at all. Um, I've actually heard the opposite. Um, I am finding out that yes, they are in fact investigating into CPS, but right now they are looking at Title 4D right now. So that is of course Title 4D is the one that fathers are paid have to pay into. That is the child support one, and they are in fact finding fraud within the child support. Um, this is going to do a lot because finding the fraud in the child support is huge, like beyond huge. Because once they find it in there, you know damn well what they're going to find in the next one that's attached to it, right? You're going to find immense amounts of fraud. And some of these workers are getting paid buku bucks. Buku. I know one that's making 89 grand. And she was the one that was last on our case. 89 grand. Are you gotta be goddamn kidding me? That's more than my family makes in a year. What the hell is wrong with these people? How do they rate above us as citizens and as taxpayers, as fathers, as mothers, as citizens of the USA, as we the people? How do they rate above us? How? That is what I'm willing to find out. And that is what I have been watching. I don't know if you guys all know, but the best way to actually reach Doge, they actually have an email, but you can also reach them on X, or you can put in, I'll tell you what it is in a second here. That way you guys know what to put in to tag them by. Um, when you want to tag them, what you're going to do is you're going to hashtag um, Doge, DOGE, sub committee, SUBCOMMITTE. You hashtag them in a post. And you underneath it, you hashtag Doge itself. That way it goes to both their things so they see it. And make sure you're also, including your papers and the White House and your House Republican parties. Make sure that you're putting them in there too as well, because it will take notice after a while. They'll see that this is a problem and there's something more going on. Obviously, most of these representatives know that there's corruption going on. They're seeing it firsthand. Um, that is not beyond there. Herbert can't. He's retired, Tammy. Herbert has been retired for years from the police force. Herbert is just our expert, and I hope that you'll come to respect him a little bit more, because he really is a decent guy, and he really is trying to learn and help. So I just wanted to point that out there. We have a great team, and Herbert's been here the longest out of all of us. He started with Darren on the show. So Herbert has been around for a long time, and he has come a long ways with me, Darren, and everyone else, and he's trying to understand. You don't see too many police officers that are furious like him about what they did to me. He is beyond livid about what they did to me, and I'm sure Mr. Herbert was a cop, and he was in the situation of arresting me. Okay, he would not do what they did to me, and I know that just because I can tell just by talking with Herbert on a day-to-day basis. He's not that kind of guy. He didn't seem like he was the pushy type, or the shovey type, or get in your face and throw you to the floor type. That's not the way Herbert rolls. So I urge everyone to show Herbert a little bit more respect, because the man deserves it. He is a ex police officer, state police officer at that, that deserves recognition for what he has done. So I just want to iterate that out there to you guys. Um, And Matt, yes, that is my biological mother in the chat. Um, she comes in a lot on our shows. Um, I just so happened that today is my show, so um, guys, there's a lot of movement. You got to keep emailing. We got to keep reaching out. We got to keep doing these things and somehow get our stories out there. They have been trying to hush us this entire time because they did not want us to raise our voices. They don't want themselves exposed. I am finding in my own state that most of the caseworkers and the supervisors are actually Democratic. They don't believe, they believe more in the transgender, which they're forcing upon my 14-year-old. Matter of fact, now they're saying they're calling her Rain, and that she is him, they, he. She is not. We've spoken to the Fosters, and they have told us differently. And for them to be saying that about my daughter, I am very much irritated. And, I am hoping that someday our president will hear us and hear our cries and go, enough is enough. They're forcing it down children's throats from the start of schools. And they've been doing it for the past 5 years. Enough is enough. Parents are starting to speak out at every school. Federal funding up here is about to probably be shut off. There is a lawsuit pending against Janet Mills in the state of Maine, actually two now. Guys, this is huge. You don't understand what's really going on here in Maine. Maine is very, very much so corrupt. Maine is filled with corrupt police departments. Maine is filled with corrupt schools. We're filled with corrupt jails. We are filled with corrupt attorneys. We are filled with corrupt judges. We are filled with corrupt ADAs and DAs. We are filled with corrupt AAGs and AGs and GALs. And even the bar is part of that. They fall in line because I just received a letter yesterday stating that the bar dismissed my thing against the judge. Well, since they dismissed it, now I got a record of them dismissing my claim, and I had a great claim too. And they're trying to dismiss the one on the DA as well. But little do they know that 1839 or the 1983 goes a long ways. When you serve someone under the color of law, that lawsuit can be pulled at any time, especially when they violate it. And guess what, people? Not only has the department violated it, their AG just violated it. Not only did she just violate it, the DA, the ADA in my case, has violated it. So yeah, that's count them up. That's more than 5 under color of law CLs that I've filed, and I have copies of every single one of them. You guys don't understand how big that is. Yes, they can only give you a certain amount for them. If you win them, they have to give you a certain amount. And you know what? It's not about the amount. I'm about to prove a point. When you violate someone's federal constitutional rights as a citizen, and I am a citizen, I was born and raised in the US. I am a citizen. I have my birth certificate. I have my SS card. I am a citizen of the United States. I am part of we the people. And to be treated like I am a nobody, I will not stand for. I will not have my constitutional rights violated by these people. And I will not let them walk on me. And they're afraid of that. But I also just did apply for my whistleblowers thing, so I'm waiting to hear back on that. It has to go through the DOJ, but I did apply for it, so I'm currently waiting to hear back from that to get my whistleblower status. And once I do, that's going to be huge, huge. Yeah, no, he's definitely old school. Herbert is definitely old school. I appreciate Herbert more than people understand. I may get mad with him from time to time because he doesn't understand fully, and then I have to educate him. And then he learns, and he's like, "Okay, now I get it. I understand now where you're coming from." So Herbert is very, very awesome. Um, I know I was a little bit late today. I was supposed to be here at 2 o'clock, but I was working on a couple things. I got some motions sent to me last night. I finally heard from Richard, um, and he apologized. He didn't know that I felt like he was ignoring me, so he apologized for that. Um, so that's a good thing. I'm glad that Richard understood that. I felt ignored, like I haven't heard nothing, I haven't seen nothing from him. You know, uh, I understand now. But he apologized for that, and that makes up a little bit of a difference there. When you can actually apologize to someone and be genuine about it, that's a good thing. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. They're trying to lure me to the post office to sign for something so they can catch me out there. That's their new game now. Certified mail, trying to get me to go there and sign for it. Guess what? It's not being signed for. It was a good try though. You'll be getting that right back. Return to sender. Nice try for trying to get me so you can arrest me. It didn't work. See, because like you, I abide by the law. I have not left my yard other than for medical appointments and counseling, and those are on my documents of release. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. And yeah, Mom, he did. He reached out last night. That's how I got the slurry of motions that he sent me. This cat, I'm gonna beat his ass. Um, Plus I had to answer a message that I seen. Yeah, yeah, definitely, Tammy. I don't give them an inch to try to arrest me. None. I am abiding by what is written. I haven't done anything out of ordinary. Um, you know, I haven't deviated. Thank you, facts. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's crazy facts. It's crazy the amount of things that I have endured from these people, and the fact that they say, if I try to change my bail to see my kids or to go back to work, they're gonna revoke my bail. That's a blatant threat. So does that mean that I can go and say, well, now I can have you arrested for threatening? I don't see why not. They can have me arrested for threatening, but when they threaten, they can't be arrested and held accountable for that? I beg to differ. That is a threat. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to, have a cigarette, but not be on camera, so it's seen. And the fact that I've been denied to see my children for 2 years when I have proof and I could show the proof that I was supposed to have video visits to start, and then I was supposed to have in-person visits. I have it right on my phone. I have the screenshot of that message on like 3 different things where they said I was supposed to have visitation. They have denied me my fundamental right and my constitutional right, starting with the first, the second, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the ninth, the 10th, and the 14th Amendment. They have blatantly walked all over my constitutional rights. I have proof of this. I have proof of a false arrest. I have proof of them not showing a warrant or court order that stated they were to arrest me to begin with. It was never presented, not once. When they removed me from my children and my wife, um, they didn't have a court order or warrant to remove me then. They had violated my Fourth Amendment right twice. Actually, 3 times. With no care in this world. And I have been trying to tell my attorneys this, and they will not stick up for that. That is where I draw the line. And I say, you attorneys are wrong. A Fourth Amendment violation, and it states in what we read last night that attorneys can go all the way up to the Supreme Court. Why are you attorneys not following through with your oaths of office and turning this over to the Supreme Court for constitutional violations, which you have every single right to do? Why are you cowering down to the bar associates and to the judges and to CPS? What is hanging over your heads? I think you attorneys need to start speaking on your behalf and stop listening to these people, because Chevron is overturned. They do not dictate law, nor have the power to. This is some serious problem, guys. When CPS thinks that they're above the law and they're above everybody in this United States, and they think they run the government, we have a problem. Parents, adults, everyone listening, you need to start getting the word out. Stop just posting on YouTube. That includes you, Tammy. You need to branch out a little bit and start getting what you got to say out there to the public. Speak more, Tammy. I know you got that voice. This is detrimental to get this information out there. It's time to really shed light on these people and what they have done to our children, from transgendering them to killing them with shots to no regard to the fundamental constitutional rights that parents have, to unlawful search and seizures of children, to using the police as their weapon, because they weaponize the police in their favor. Okay, they do that. To violation of constitutional rights and the Bill of Rights that they're not supposed to violate, and I have proof of that. I do. And I can actually read that proof. Let me find that real quick. I want to read this to you guys because I find it very important. Okay. So I was reading through some things and I came across one thing this morning that kind of caught my eye. And I kind of want to read this to you guys because it points out a major problem. Okay. And this is why. This was a Fourth Amendment unlawful search and seizure of and the 14th Amendment violation due process. Okay, listen to this. CPS, keeping a parent away from child undergoing a sexual assault examination without consent, a legitimate reason to exclude her or a medical emergency, which means that even the CAC they did on her is a unlawful search and seizure and violates the 14th Amendment. How about that? Mr. Naylor, good afternoon, good sir. Good to see you. Then I want to, point this out. This was pointed out to me by a friend of mine, and I shared it with the group today, and a few others. State of New Jersey versus Janet Mills. For the publication without the approval of the Appellate Division, Superior Court of New Jersey, Appellate Division docket, and State of New Jersey plaintiff respondent versus Janet J. Mills defendant. Guys, defendant Janet Mills appealed her conviction following a jury trial on a single count indictment charging possession of controlled dangerous substance, cocaine, NJSA 2C3510A1. On May 13th, 2005, defendant was sentenced to time served, 50 days and 2 years probation with conditions related to substance abuse. Appropriate penalties and assessments were imposed, as well as 6 months loss of driver privileges. Wow. Wow. Do you know what that makes Miss Mills? That makes Miss Mills a felon. A felon. Only a sitting president can be a felon, not a governor. Yeah, yeah. Very dirty, Naylor. Really, very dirty. That is what we are dealing with up here. That is our governor. And we, the people, didn't even vote her in. How about that? So when they say corruption runs deep in Maine, it runs a lot deeper than you think. Absolutely. They should lose their families and their houses for everything that they have put us families through. And there's many of us in Maine, guys. We are the center of it all. Everything comes down from Maine across the state. Everything. You don't understand. You don't fathom how far this goes and how deep it goes. It's been enrooted into the entire system up here to the point of they have a broken software that has been failing the system for many years now. And this system is called Katahdin. It's a software-based program that they're only supposed to use at the initial phone call of a report. Except now they're using that system to compile a record and make it generate, breaking the system. That's awesome, Facts. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen a couple arrests made already too. They're kind of trying to sweep it under the rug so no one notices, but if you look hard enough, you'll see that there's a lot more arrests happening lately. And that they did censure um, the guy that spoke out, Green, um, at the president's speech. They did censure him. They didn't take away his representation for his body or any of that, but they're gonna do something with him. We don't know what yet, so we have to wait to hear about that, I guess. Yeah, they're investigating a lot of states right now. Um, Quite a few of their targets is New York, Massachusetts, Boston, Maine, and one other state. Those are the big targets right now. Big targets. I've been watching all the news and real news and what they're posting and what they're talking about to see what's really going on. Matter of fact, there's a bill put in movement by Representative Marjorie Green. So you guys might want to go look into that bill as well and see what that bill has to state. Um, Darren had it on the show last night if people missed it. Um, but this bill is pretty huge as well. Um, it's I think right on her page or under Family Forward Project under Connie Regal. You'll find it. It's there too, I think. So it's something that you guys might want to be investigating and looking into to see what each bill says, because maybe as we, the people, and we can put all these bills together side by side that they're doing as far as parental rights and whatnot. If we can put these all side by side and narrow it down to one bill that we, the people, and we, the parents, want, and get that in front of our president and Congress and say, this is what needs to happen, that might be the smarter deal, I think. We need to have our own bill for every single state that we, the people, want, not what these attorneys want. Because that's who's controlling it, is the attorneys and the representatives. They're not going by what we, the people, actually want done. So I just want you to, think about that. Um, I might try to get outside for a little bit today. I've been cooped up too long, so I want to get some fresh air and go out and, tinker in the driveway for a minute or so. Yeah, I just found out that Miss Pasta was sick again. She ran another temperature yesterday. Not too impressed with that. But we're about close to that time, guys. I wasn't gonna go the full hour today. Um, I wanted to basically come on and speak some things that I've been seeing, some things that I've been following, um, what I'm looking at. But I also wanted to read um, something as well that I kind of seen, that kind of pointed out to me. Um, Trying to find it real quick so I can read it to you guys. Um, where the hell is it? I hate this thing. It never puts it where I want it to put things. Um, yeah, I can't find it, so I can't even worry about it. Yeah, it's funny how you mentioned Boston as its own state. I get it. Boston should be its own state. It shouldn't be Boston, Massachusetts. It should be Boston, then Massachusetts. Yes, they sit side by side, but it should not be together. It should be its own state and not a shared state. Because that's where they screw you. Because then they can pull you in each jurisdiction. Trust me, I've learned. Just like Maine is one state. Maine is its own state, even though it borders Canada. And we definitely do border Canada. The far end of Canada, but we border it. Yep. Yeah, Cape Cod. Yep. Yep. Cape Cod's its own state. But all right, guys, I'm gonna try to weasel my way outside, go get some fresh air, exercise a little bit, get the blood a flowing because I've been between sitting and standing this morning. Um, so I want to be able to get outside and get some exercise. But I'll leave you on that to think about some things and what I talked about today. I hope you guys all have a great afternoon. Our next show is going to be Darren and two other hosts, I do believe, tonight. And then 10 o'clock, we have CPSV Hunting Justice. So make sure that you tune in for that at about 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, make sure you're checking out my main man Darren's book on Amazon. Stay Calm, CPS is coming. He's also got lots of stuff made up that you can get, hats, shirts, other things as well. He is working on getting the website up and running from my understanding and being pulled 60 different ways from Sunday. So he's very busy right now. He's working on quite a few cases trying to help everyone get their information so they can file their stuff in court. He's a powerhouse of knowledge. So if Darren doesn't get back to you right at the moment, he's probably busy. I mean, it takes me, and I'm the manager, it takes me a while to reach him. And, you know, there's a couple others that are a part of the management team as well. You got Darren is the head of all of us. I'm the manager. Then we got Ms. Danielle. And then we got Mr. Gunner and Tiffany. Those are our powerhouse team right there. And Mr. Herbert is a part of us as well. He is well, better yet, I'll show you what Mr. Herbert is. Let's put Mr. Herbert up here so y'all understand that, this is Mr. Herbert's job. Where is he? He's got him here somewhere. Right here. Here you go. Herbert, our police procedure expert. Okay. Then you have the show. Bring back Brenda. She does her show. Obviously you got me. This is our other show. CPS Victims Hunting Justice, or CPS Victims Fighting Justice. We have two different ones. Then we got Mr. Gunner. Did a show at Malibu, Dallas. We have the one that we did for the president. We got Tiff and the Punisher. Okay. We have Miss Kim Page. Turn the page, but Kim Page. And there is many more. We have Sam that does her show. Guys, there's a lot of us on this channel that are in fact sharing our stories and trying to get our stories out there. So again, I just want to, iterate, make sure you're catching up on all the shows, and you're watching. I don't know why this is not working with me at the moment. Bear with me. Trying to fix it. I didn't forgot to put my background back up, so it said, oh, you didn't have your background right. So there we go. But I hope you guys all have a great day. This is Freedom Fighter with Vinny, and I am out of here, guys. Let me just start my music. Have a good day, y'all.
Vinny on the mic, life in a vice, CPS tight, fighting through the nights, through the pain and the plight. Lost in the system, kids taken away, but he ain't giving up, fighting day by day. Courtroom's cold, but his heart fire bold. Every document, evidence, stories untold. Digging deep, unearthing all the mess. Knows he's getting closer, there's no time to rest. CPS won't break this man, fighting each day, got a bigger plan. Reclaiming his kids, dreams in his hand, battling for others, strong like a brick wall stand. Every setback a setup for a comeback. Vinny stacking facts, ready for the attack. Discovering truths buried deep in the lies. Eyes on the prize, freedom in his eyes. Community's voice rising up, getting loud. Vinny leading the charge, making his folks proud. Taking down giants, carrying the fight. The light at the end now blindingly bright. For his kids, for his life, for the broken and lost. Vinny's resilient, no matter the cost. Breaking free from chains, reclaiming his dream. CPS trembling when Vinny hit the scene.
a small Maine town under the sky so clear. A man named Vinny fights, driven by the fear. The CPS is corrupt, breaking hearts in cold. He stands with the people, brave and bold. With the Constitution held high in his hand, he walks the streets a one-man band. No more kids for cash, no more silent cries. In Vinny's eyes, the truth never dies. We're fighting for justice, standing tall. Vinny's voice echoes, answering the call. Through our podcast, we light up the night, freeing our kids, bringing truth to light. Families torn apart in the dead of night. Vinny's on the front line, ready for the fight. He records the stories, each tear and word, amplifying voices, making sure they're heard. Families torn apart in the dead of night. Vinny's on the front line, ready for the fight. He records the stories, each tear and word, amplifying voices, making sure they're heard. Oh, we're fighting for justice, standing tall. Vinny's voice.
Imagine being a child who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stop the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they mightst feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calm. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.
Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem.
They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again. CPS comes along with the mission to protect. The only thing they are doing is cashing in those checks, paid for by the souls of the children, diagnosed by a caseworker who is still a baby herself. They They take away the fathers, leaving just the mom and cubs. They know that with dad out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem, stealing our kids. It's not mama drama. Stand up for all those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again.